Welcome back, everyone. If you're looking for a quick moment of clarity and calm today, you are in exactly the right place. Today on The Explainer, we're embarking on a bit of a sensory journey. We're going to deconstruct and explore the daily rhythms of a slow-living, countryside lifestyle. We're drawing our insights from a beautifully atmospheric, Ghibli-inspired source that captures a day in the life of a rural community. We'll be looking really closely at the people, the agriculture, the fresh harvests under the trees, specifically fresh fruits like apples, and the shimmering water elements that completely define this world. So get comfortable, focus in on the screen, and let's explore the restorative power of a simpler life. Okay, let's dive into this. Right out of the gate, our source material grounds us with this incredibly simple, optimistic statement: the weather is perfect for market today. It's a real hook, isn't it? Because it immediately establishes this deep connection to nature. In this lifestyle, your day isn't dictated by an alarm clock or an overflowing inbox, it's dictated by the sky. This one single line sets the stage for our entire chronological explainer. It basically tells us that today is a day of action, a day of trading, and most importantly, a day that relies entirely on the natural world cooperating with human effort.
Section 1. Rhythms of the Countryside. Let's take a look at the atmosphere and sounds of this world.
Now, to truly understand this world, we kind of have to understand its unique language. If you read the raw text of our source, you might actually be surprised to find very little heavy exposition or long philosophical speeches. Instead, the story is told through repetitive, rhythmic sounds, a process I like to call sensory translation. In our source, we see these recurring onomatopoeic captions, words just repeating over and over, like heat, 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 or a sudden pop, or a chorus of beeps. Instead of viewing these as mere background noise, we need to interpret them as the ambient heartbeat of a bustling, mindful lifestyle. When you see heat, heat, I want you to literally imagine the intense, shimmering warmth of the midday sun over an apple orchard, or the loud sizzle of a cast-iron pan. When you hear beep or pop, picture the lively, chaotic energy of a community hard at work among the rustling trees. It's just a brilliant way to convey a genuinely lived-in atmosphere.
Section 2. The Early Morning Harvest. Gathering the Bounty.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the tactile details. Every rural day begins with the earth, right at the crack of dawn, focusing on the heavy physical labor required out among the trees. Before any trading or resting can happen, the community must engage directly with agriculture. Notice the specific details of this fresh produce. This isn't just generic food, right? The source material specifically highlights the weight and quality of the harvest. We have fresh fruits, like perfectly crisp apples, gathered early from the branches. The vegetables aren't just ripe, they are explicitly described as fresh and heavy, implying a really rich, water-dense, successful crop. And actually, my personal favorite detail is the immense pride taken in offering the best cucumbers in town, specifically noting they were just picked this morning. This is a lifestyle deeply, deeply grounded in the immediate, physical reality of what the earth provides today.
And, well, after hours of that intense physical labor, we get this moment of profound satisfaction. That's the last one for today. Yes, a good harvest. Think about how different this feels from, say, clocking out of a corporate office. The tangible reward is literally right there in your hands. You can see, smell, and weigh exactly what you've accomplished. It's a direct, unmediated relationship between your personal effort, the natural world, and your very survival.
Section 3. Bustling local market trades. Moving into the hub of community exchange.
As the morning turns to midday, the quiet isolation of the harvest gives way to human connection. The pace really picks up here, and the dialogue shifts entirely. Down in the market, we see a beautiful trading of diverse bounties. On one side, we have the earthly harvest, the heavy vegetables, the fresh apples, the pork. But look at how the source contrasts this with the water elements. There is a specific, super excited exchange over fresh fish. Someone says, "Look, the fish we asked for. Wow, that's a good one." It totally highlights an interconnected community. The farmers of the land are relying on the fishermen of the waters. They are bringing completely different ecosystems together right in the town square to sustain each other. Notice the structured flow of this timeline here. The rhythm of rural trade is polite, it's smooth, and it's highly transactional, but it's built entirely on trust. It starts with a warm, "How can I help you today?" moves to a careful appraisal with, "This looks like a good portion," and ends with a respectful, "Here's the payment, thank you, come again soon." There is absolutely no rushing. It's a mindful exchange where both the buyer and the seller deeply respect the labor that went into the goods being traded.
Section 4. Sharing the daily bounty.
Gathering around for a family meal.
So, once the trading is all done, we transition back into the domestic warmth of the home. The sun is beginning to set, and it's time to actually enjoy the fruits of all this labor, leading us to the emotional anchor of this entire explainer. The children are enjoying it too. It really reminds us of the ultimate why behind the physical toll of the morning harvest and the careful negotiations of the market. It's all about providing delicious, nourishing food for the family. The presence of the children emphasizes continuity, care, and the simple, unmatched joy of sharing a meal you actively sourced yourself.
Remember our concept of sensory translation from earlier? Well, let's apply it right here. And this brilliantly illustrates how the source's seemingly chaotic sound captions actually represent the vibrant energy of preparing a family feast. The relentless heat, heat, heat in the source. That's the sizzling of the pork and the fresh fish in the pan. The sudden pop. That is literally the crackle of those heavy, fresh vegetables hitting the hot oil. And those rapid beeps, that is the active, rhythmic sound of a busy, happy kitchen working in perfect harmony to feed a hungry family. It takes those abstract words and turns them into a mouth-watering scene right before our eyes.
Section 5. Resting after hard work. Letting the deep quiet settle in.
After the harvest, the bustling market, and the feast, the energy finally dissipates and a profound quiet settles in. This is the final stage of our daily loop. I absolutely love this detail from the source. Let's rest now. Come on, boy. Good dog, get in. Let's go. It highlights that genuine, deep rest is only truly possible after the physical and social fulfillment of the day's tasks. And sharing that quiet moment with an animal companion, calling the family dog inside for the night, just perfectly encapsulates the peacefulness of this lifestyle. There's nothing left to do. The work is finished. So, the crucial point is this four-step chronological loop, which acts as the fundamental blueprint for a peaceful countryside life. 1. You pick the morning produce with hard physical labor. 2. You take it to the bustling market to trade with your neighbors. 3. You return home to feed your family the daily bounty. And 4. You rest deeply, completely free of lingering anxieties, ready to start the whole cycle anew when the sun rises.
For those of us caught in the modern hustle, this simple, rewarding cycle connected to nature is kind of everything. Understanding this rhythm is an incredibly effective mental antidote to modern burnout for sure. In a world of endless notifications and abstract digital labor, there is something deeply healing about looking at a life defined by tangible work, direct community exchange, and the simple satisfaction of a heavy vegetable and a fresh fish.
So what does this all mean for us? I want to leave you with this question to ponder. Obviously, we can't all just drop everything and move to a Ghibli-inspired farm. But how can you incorporate this rewarding cycle into your modern life? Where can you find your own morning harvest of focused, tangible work? How can you better share your bounty with your community? And most importantly, how can you ensure you are taking the time to genuinely rest deeply at the end of it all? Take a mental snapshot of these principles, think about them today, and start building your own peaceful rhythms. Thanks for joining me on The Explainer, and I will see you in the next one.